Bunch of rogue, always a rogue, I say, huh? Different breed of law? Different breed to us law-abiding citizens. There's only 2 bullets were found at the scene. I would say the whole case is done and dusted. You don't need a scare yourself to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it was the pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I've seen many shooting. There's none I do not know about guns. Ooh, okay, revolutionary. You could probably help us a lot, actually. It would seem that there's little remaining room for doubt. Really? I'm rather bold by the argument put forward by the chap in black. Well, when they fell apart like a house of cards, it's all jolly well being hoodwinked. He does. I see him constantly glass at the maid, actually. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris? The prosecution's being mean. Just because Jeannie has done some things she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer. Absolutely. You are correct. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage, while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debacle in the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually. Hit him with the peak, bruh. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Boom, boom. Yes, my lord. Judicial examination. Jury examination. The defendant's rebuttal. Bunch of rogue, always a rogue, I say, huh? Different breed of law-abiding citizens. Yeah, hold it! Wait a second! Just because Miss Lestrade has the history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying? Ah, well. Are you members of the are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? I beg your pardon? You're just mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world? Okay. Yeah, okay, pal. Let me tell you, sometimes either it's already happened or sometime soon, these people called Americans, buddy. These, they're something. Actually, let's see. How old are you, mister? You're not on the list. Frick, how old was Mr. Gardev? I don't know. But he said he fought in 1880. I don't know what the force... I don't know what the army regulation of age is in England, especially back then. When did... Okay, whatever. I don't know. You guys got beat by some fucking guys on 13 colonies, okay, buddy? No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Huh, well, yeah, might have a point there, I suppose. Let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in front of her. She had it in her from before. She clearly a criminal, so through and through. Can't deny it. You literally just... When you said that she had she had it in her, are you referring to this? Exactly. Try to swipe that only a day earlier, Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. It's never actually seen the real thing. Can't wait to have a closer look at it. Yeah, of course. Hoo-hee-ha! Mr. Oh, Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. I bet he's at home doing that right now. We still don't know what tune it plays, though, do we? I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy. Mr. McGilded's disc. There'll be a clue somewhere. How? Perhaps we should examine it in more detail. We already... Fine, whatever. I'll examine it again. I'm hitting the examine button. Court record. B-hop, hit the B-hop. The blood, yeah. We know the Mr. McGilded part. The blood because of, Eggert. Oh, Runo, look! This is blood! Yeah, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely oh my god, oh my god, test it, Iris! Actually, feel as though I might have noticed that before. Aha, then it's my time to shine again. Yes, please, you could solve so much, please. I've been waiting forever. Alright, let's do it with the disc now. Let me get this done quickly, Iris. In a flash. Wait a minute. Eggert! Eggert! Hey, wait a minute. It's the guy. It was the Benedict guy. He's the one who got his hand cut. That means that... Oh my god. Dude, he was there on the night of the murder. A lovely sight, a lively bright shade again. Wait, that color with a U. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen the color with a U, is it? Yes. Yes. Oh my god. This actually, oh my god. This just did it. Is it Eggert Benedict, right? Yeah. Well, we just connected him to the crime, so that's good.
Hold it!
That means at some point Eggert was shot. Then where did the bullet with Mr. Sholmes go? It's the number of bullets that have you convinced? Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 bullets that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yeah? Sometimes after dinner, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware. I would have to reconsider my position. Interesting, interesting. The 3rd bullet somewhere in the scene. Could that be possible? Could I prove? I just got a really strange thing. Just got probably a virus email, so I'm just gonna delete it real quick. Hold on. It was like a bunch of letters. Okay. Somewhere in the scene, could that be possible? For right now, we're gonna say it's impossible. Unfortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation. Yes, I know. Right. And I don't imagine the good men of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well, I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt. And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It sounds like a crime scene to me. A 3rd bullet. It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? Do you think we might have one lying around somewhere? The fuck? You'll need a stereoscope on this truth here. Yeah. Fucking, yo, funny punny man. So if I understood correctly, you need 2 pictures. A left eye and a right, slightly different right eye one. Exactly. And you can see the scene in 3 dimensions. Like this. So if you had 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them? I think you'll find, no matter how much of us you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that the girl in the dock. Can you be so sure of that? And think about it, the Skulkin brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yeah, that's been mentioned once or twice. Oh, then surely coming into focus now, isn't it? This is a waste of time. I'm not going to change this man's mind anytime soon. Dun, bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
Hold it!
Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I could really say that it's really nothing to do with the trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no... Wait. Did you perform on Herlock? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet has simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about this time, you were operating on... What was that fellow's name now? Herlich? No. Herlock? No. Herlock? Herlock Sholmes by any chance? Oh, dear good lord. That was the Herlock fellow. What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? That's right, it was the latest in anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was fairly major up, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see, the fellow was Brian not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. He said he's been shot by some criminal or another, so I opened him up like a shot. The funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. I hate to state the obvious, but... Yeah? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for the defense is correct. This is it. Probably not yet, but this is it. This is it. Because this isn't the bullet that shot Sherlock. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him with the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Ah, who do you think I am, son? Juror number 4 is about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound in my stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did, and there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all. What? That's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly what I said about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can someone please explain how it happened? Can someone solve the mystery? It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. The mystery of where the bullet ended up is infuriating. Where's an expert when you need one? Hey, hold on. Okay, so in that case, we're gonna go press on him, but we're gonna do this first.
Hold it!
What do you mean? This is my favorite jury so far, I think. I like it is kind of like the first jury in Mr. McGilda's trial was kind of cool, but it really felt like there was nothing to it. It felt really simple. I mean, I guess that's the point. It gets more complicated, but also the coincidences of all of the jurors also being involved is super funny to me. But in the Clouded Kokoro, it was interesting because we had to take them, you know. We had to take one of them off the jury to talk to him. This is wacky. This is all wacky. But I love how interactive this is, because I'm going to go to the expert man, and he's going to be like, oh, booga booga, shuga luga, guns. And I'm going to be like, aha, guns. I love how I have to, okay, I'm saying I love how I have to talk to one to get information to present to the other person so that they can change a statement and then I can actually contradict them with the knowledge that they got from the second person. What do you mean you're in for a busy day? I got to say, stop, excuse me, stop. I'm communication officer, stop. Communications officer? What does that have something to do with sending telegrams? Does that have something to do with sending telegrams? Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. And convert all the messages in the Morse code and tap it to the entire world electronically. To the entire world? Oh, hey. Thousands of miles of cable in the sea. Stop. Worldwide communication network. Stop. Information transmitted in all four corners of the globe. Stop. Ah, yes. She was getting equally worked up about radio waves or the like before, wasn't she? Bum, 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 bum. specialized in communicating information from government departments and newspaper offices. I see. Sure, headed to wire the newspaper report today's verdict later. Still no sleep for me tonight, I imagine. Let me just finish the trial first, shall we? I'm ballistics expert. Okay, ballistic expert, please.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist. Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I'd like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So you're a ballistic expert, who knew? I have much experience with guns. Ah. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent bath of, no, blood of, extremely violent bloodbaths, perhaps? Those extreme violent bloodbaths. English is a very difficult tongue. Yeah, so I've heard. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There's nothing I do not know, no mystery I cannot solve. He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But if possible, please, only in Russian language. He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he? No, still, we should bear it in mind. He's a man. If there's a mystery about guns or bullets, well... Bum. Van Zieks has managed to convince everybody. When you've eliminated the impossible, he said, but he hasn't. We're gonna fight back. We need more material. And we're gonna have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. The idea that all I do is Oh, a ballistics expert. P-P-P-I-T-T. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there's no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Jury number 6. Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you. This apparent contradiction in the fact that is so clearly troubling jury number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen very similar circumstances in Motherland. It was night, there was blizzard, it was running away along mountain road in freezing cold. Golly. The snow was piling high on both sides of the road, it was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and fell down in snow. And these situations were very similar to what I heard today from Doctor. I could not find bullets in my body. There's no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. Then where did the bullet go? The bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, how did you fall down? The bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke away from a lump of ice, pierced my body. Made deep wound that looked like bullet wound. Oh, it could have. Okay, so it could have shot something on Sholmes, shattered, and then cut him. So that's what it sounds like. Wait. He has a pouch on his. He always had a pouch on his leg. Can we see it here? Hey, Sholmes, show me your pouch. I know you have one. Good gracious. Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside of me. And then it's solution of the mystery of disappearing bullet. But that doesn't answer the question at all. The shooting happened in pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Runo, where exactly was Hurley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. Well, it's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. Yeah, the pouch. A pouch. Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yeah, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations. What? Really? Doctor, where's that pouch Mr. Shums was wearing? Well, I had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember. If I may, Lord Van Zieks? While I realize it is forbidden from the prosecution to interject during a summation, you fucking have the evidence, you asshat. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry? As I understood it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Shums injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Ah, thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it had been in safekeeping along with other evidence relating to the case. I could personally vouch for the fact that it has never been touched since the incident occurred. Then can we please see it? Very well, extremely unconventional during a summation examination. I must demand the prosecution present the item in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Harlock Shums' pouch. Let's see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Shums on the night in question, is it? Look at that. What? Is that how you spell veils? Or what is it? Hold on. Look, we're looking it up. Veil. A glass vessel or bottle, especially in a small bottle for innocence. Veil. A glass vessel or bottle. A small tube-shaped bottle used to store medicine, perfume, or other chemical. So one's specifically for medicines and one's the other thing. But isn't it like the same thing? I would say veil. Fuck you. One of the veils broken and the leather renders scorched black. It's almost as if the veil exploded. Exploded? From the gunshot wound. So there were 3 bullets because we haven't found that one yet. So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Shums' pouch. It was the glass veil exploding that caused the fellow's injuries. The bullet did not penetrate the victim. Must be deflected in the wall of shop. Did you check the walls, Van Zieks? A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though I had no bearing on the truth. You know it doesn't have anything. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of this case remain unaltered. Wrong. At least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to his bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court sequestered the scuffy pouch as evidence. Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy. The pouch Mr. Shums was wearing around his waist at the time of shooting. One of the glass veils is smashed and there's scorch marks around it. Oh look, there's a hole here at the back. That's probably what. Doesn't look much like a bullet hole. And clearly something's ripped through the leather with great force. Something must have pierced it somehow to have left this hole behind. Yeah, it looks that way. Mr. Shums and his pouch both took a beating, didn't they? Why are there scorch marks specifically? do you mean? Get this part, please. Thank you. It's really scorched badly. He just here. Oh, the strap is broken. Look. This must be where the bullet hit then. Let me see. Is this the... Oh my god! This proves the existence of a third party! A fourth part? Fifth party? Gina's the second party. The brothers are the third and fourth. We're the fifth, sixth, seventh. That's like the eighth party. What's this? Iris, look! Behind where the broken veil is. Do you see it? Ah, that's the Skulkin brothers' bullet. What a stroke of luck that it hit his pouch. It's an amazing discovery. What this means is there were 3 bullets fired at Winnie Banks that night. And exactly what the juror was talking about. The third bullet. It's time to press that juror again, I think. Oh my god, guys, it's all coming together. Projectile was discovered lodged in Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It caused one of the veils to explode, injuring Mr. Sholmes. Oh my god. Oh my god, turn the case around. It appears that Brent's somewhat struggling to alter opinion, Please, my lord. A little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a viable clue, and you can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. There's still a way to turn this around, somehow. I'm sure of it.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets were fired, and so, yeah. When the parlor made... Yeah, that's how many there, right? That's logical, I suppose. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I should press her again. Oh, there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware. I'd have to reconsider my position. Third bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible? It's possible, baby! Let's go! We're about to smash this case wide open. Allow me to show you then. The third bullet. Literally called the third bullet. Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question in Mr. Winnie Banks' pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nepalese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to the hospital. And since then it has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in the photographic print. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Winnie Banks and the belongings to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass it. I fucked that up. I really butchered the final leap, bro. Order. While the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that appear to shake the very foundations upon which this case against the defendant has been built. There's my prerogative of this situation. I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Bum, 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 bum. Witnesses? Governor? Were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the examination summation? Well, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it? Gov, I didn't make nothing of nothing if I can help it. Is it one of yours? You're goblin, Gov, grumbly, not a chance. In that case, do you have an accomplice? What? Never. The Skulking brothers never walk alone. It's just the two of us. That's our trademark. How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy, that's a head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I'd like to hear your thoughts regarding the newer developments. The 3rd bullet and the mysterious missing firearm, from whence it came. Thinking back all of the testimony we heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear that this 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulking brothers. It had nothing to do with them, I think? I believe them when they say that they only work alone. I believe it has nothing to do with them. Eh? Nash? That's right! Yeah, nothing to do with us, guys. We've established that 1 bullet fired from each of the 2 guns already known to the court. The logical conclusion, therefore, is that on that night in question at Mr. Wendy Banks' pawnbrokery, there was another person present in possession of a 3rd firearm. Whilst the brothers may have had nothing to do with the 3rd gun or the bullet fired from it, it's inconceivable that they had nothing to do with the 3rd man. Yes, the brothers were working with an accomplice who was carrying a gun. Wait, what? An accomplice, you say? Pigs will. What? What's that even mean? These protractual proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. That in all that time, there's been not a murmur of a 3rd man. This apparently wraith-like being exists. The court must show hard work evidence. Hard evidence. Without it, the fantasy will be crushed. Prosecution demands answers on 2 accounts. Firstly, proof, evidence that his accomplice was even at the scene of the crime. Ooh, I got it. Ooh, Van Zieks, you fool. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the 3rd person that they're hiding? Well, counsel, I got this, Ryunosuke, believe in me. I'm supposed to prove that existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is ready to present answers. Defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers this prosecution demands. So, my Nepalese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every piece of evidence available to me. It will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I'd like to ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to this death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene? Hit him with the blood samples! The evidence is right here, in the portfolio. By Jove, the portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. Oh god, You claim one of these bloodstains provides the presence of this third intruder. Well, which is it? Is it E? Oh god. This one.
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or some like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a bloodstain, my lord. A bloodstain? Green blood? Curious even for you. Does this court understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? It's something developed by Sherlock Holmes. By the great detective? New invention? Stop. Not yet appeared in stories. Stop. It's this, you see? It doesn't have a name yet, though. This foggy spray is a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made of a different element. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Talk about blood in courtroom. Stop. Very exciting. Stop. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windybank. Ah, striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that someone else was shot at the main part of the shop. A whole fire there, young man. Could be some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. The date shows on the calendar it's the date on which Mr. Windybank was killed. By golly. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of someone else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity this court is still waiting to hear. Cannot delay this any longer, my learned friend. Whose is this alleged third intruder? Oh, baby! The man's name is Eggert Benedict. Eggert Benedict? What on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to Windybank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker in releasing the article into her possession. That's right. Oh ho ho ho. The man's identified by the defense, Mr. Eggert Benedict. Then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Oh god, I gotta remember. Broker. Gosh, sir. I believe this filthy pickpocket has just redeemed an article from you, no? I think that's the voice I gave him. Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say, hoo hee, hoo ha, and any music box disc too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you cooperate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. Yeah, that's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Windybank for a print showing the fellow. Taken from one of his red-handed recorder's gubbiness. Yes, that's him taken on Mr. Windybank this morning. You claim this man is the brother's accomplice? Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, never seen that geezer before in my life. Yeah, my life, Gov, on my life. Never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nepalese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. This is it, Naruhodo. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something like this has been missing in the trial from the very start. But now, I'm going to drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Are you ready to present your evidence answer to the court then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet.
Take that!
The proof is right here, in the portfolio. Good gracious, counsel. Does the portfolio contain the answers to every question posed? Kinda. I see you share my interest in clarion-colored liquids, my Nepalese friend, but... Enough. The court demands to see further evidence. Which blood sample proves the man you identified was the one shot by the third bullet at the scene of the crime? This one. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim the disc from Windy Banks. Which is when the aforementioned Edgar Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. Following this, like a minor incident occurred. Well, of course, here's the disc for you. Very well. Hoo, he, hoo, ha. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute, that disc. It's mine. Ah, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc is countless small but sharp mental protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's fingers to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. Goodness, a blood stain, is it? My assistant and I have just analyzed the blood stain here in this very courtroom, using a trusty fogger gun. Yeah, and we have added the results to this portfolio. I say, it's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar. The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Edgar Benedict, who was in the Windy Banks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime the same night. So there was someone else there. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Oh, wait, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it's the opinion of the defense. Mr. Edgar Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem like we would ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. The fragrant arrogance of the mechanics of law. Sherlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. Protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of deduction or such some. And now you employ chemical substances devised by the fantastical persona in the highest courts of law of the land? You expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. No, Christoph 2.0, don't do this to me. This is like when he was like Omega Low. Dude, Twitch? Bruh, can't be evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to your successful proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Well... Bruh, get your freaking shoe off it and pray. Do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sherlock Sholmes' word for it. I don't know why I kept trying to say Sherlock. Well, I know why, but... Is he right? Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction of a load of rubbish? I don't know. I mean, he is a great detective. What are we talking about? We can't let him get away with that. I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. Oh, it's not over! Ah, in other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Good grief, what did you just say, young girl? And in summation examinations, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? Oh, it's not your decision, Van Zieks. So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now. Yes, she's right. Young lady, do you have quite the devious mind? It really just comes down to one thing. Do these people believe in him? Do these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you just said, Ryuno? Is that about right, would you say? Did I misunderstand something? Nope, you said it perfectly. Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. To the shrewd presence of the situation from an unexpected force. It might be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has read to you as you reach its conclusion. This is absurd! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks for you on your final leanings of the matter. A proud citizen of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Oh, not guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Gardem.
Not guilty.
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 Not guilty.
We got our 4, baby. Two called guilty and 4 called not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
Dude, he baby raging. My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they're too arrogant to be trusted with the judgment of another's guilt. Nah, I'm sorry, Lord Van Zieks. The outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. He's baby raging. He's baby raging. He's a boo 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 boo, your little beep boop beep boop beep. Nonetheless, we will find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense was very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that might be impossible. What? After all that? The name of the gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false. We have a picture of him. I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove the man was there that night. Could I say something? Who's saying something? Who was that, please? Who spoke? It was me, my lord. You're number 5. What have you to say, madam? If possible. Inspector. Me, madam? Wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again? The one in which the gentleman is shown? Oh, right, yeah, sure. This one you mean. Mr. Benedict. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. Juror number 5, you don't mean to say you know this man? Yes, I know him. What? No. Good gracious! Oh, Van Zieks. Oh, no, Van Zieks. You have a problem. Order. Juror number 5, how on earth? I am communications officer, stop. As we can clearly see. The gentleman in the photograph is, stop. And a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. Oh no, her eyes. Oh no. Very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be. Oh my god, he's the one leaking. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. He's the one leaking things across the country. Should be in the communication station now. Stop tapping away on the telegraph. Stop. This doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we're all imagining the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day whatever he gets up to at night. Yeah, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. Gentleman is at London's communication station. We should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zieks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. He is so mad. He is baby raging. Court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson. Yes, my lord. We would like to hear from this specifically about events of the pawnbroker on the day in question. Go to my chambers during the recess. Yes, sir, my lord. Yes, sure, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. Oh, bro, this is so good. This feels like an actual Ace Attorney case. For once.